Yeah, you see the way we move. It's the new way, yeah, the new groove, yeah. Gonna show you how we do it. Let's go. Now watch me slide, slide. Now watch me glide, glide. Okay. Now watch me slide, slide. Watch me glide.
We're going where?
The Heart Attack Grill.
Okay, for burgers. I got a new hat.
I've actually never eaten there.
It's for my podcast interview tomorrow. I wanted to have a really cheesy, classic Vegas hat. So we're not sure if this is open, but this is where we're going.
This is actually 2 more bypass. This is what I eat today. This is the only thing I'm eating today.
Well, we have to be strategic because if we eat this now, that's going to be right before we take a nap.
That's a $35 octuple bypass burger. 8 patties.
We want to eat a very Vegas-y meal.
I think like a hot dog. I've seen a lot of hot dogs. It's a dirty dog.
No, I'm not going to do a hot dog.
So it's not that Vegas-y.
Yeah.
That'd be more New York.
We also thought about the street taco place, but we have so many good tacos in Texas, so we're gonna do Vegas style. So Phil and I are in Las Vegas for WrestleMania weekend. And this was the first WrestleMania weekend that I wasn't actually booked for WrestleCon. Usually in the years past, I am booked for a 1 or 2 day signing at WrestleCon. But this year I wasn't booked. However, I was booked for a very fun event on Friday night. And it started really late. So we got in on a Thursday, the Thursday before WrestleMania. And we spent all day Friday as tourists. We walked up and down Fremont Street, which is old Vegas. It has a different feel than the Strip. And we were just being tourists. Like I got a really gimmicky hat and we ate at a burger place that I do not recommend, which we'll see more about in this vlog. And then we essentially were just trying to save our energy because my Friday night appearance didn't start until 10 p.m., which is way past our bedtime.
Yeah, you see the way we move. It's the new way, yeah, the new groove, yeah. Gonna show you how we do it.
How much does your backpack weigh?
Not 230.
Splitting or sharing of our larger burgers while our patients take serious pride.
I thought the
in
guy
their ability
in the
to
front
finish
wearing the gown was just his choice.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're able to finish the octuple bypass burger, the nurse will escort you out in a wheelchair.
I was not aware of this. I did not know it's mandatory you have to wear this hospital gown.
I didn't know. You can get a liter of wine for $25. That's wild. Don't look at me.
Very modest. I am embarrassed that we went to Heart Attack Grill. I've seen it before. I've never eaten there, and I didn't know what it was.
Is it good?
I'm embarrassed. I didn't know what it was. I didn't like the hospital gowns. I didn't like anything about it. I'm not really a burger person. I, for some reason, thought it would be a cool experience because we were being tourists, and
It was cute before we got in there and realized
Yeah.
what the situation was.
and we were just recording his video a second ago, and he described the whole experience as unsettling, which is very accurate.
It's an unsettling genre of a restaurant.
So we're gonna go do a lot of walking now. My bad. Okay, so I'm torn. Part of me wants to say never go to the Heart Attack Grill if you're in Las Vegas on Fremont Street. And the other part of me says you have to go at least once in your life. The good things about it is it was a good burger. And if you love a really gimmicky experience, it totally was. Like they were very on brand. A gimmick is it's like anti-health. Like even they have a big sign out front and a huge scale, which you saw in the video, that if you weigh over 350 pounds, you eat for free. I just like didn't love the whole experience. Like I hated wearing the hospital gown. I felt so ridiculous. but I guess if I was a messy eater, it'd kind of be like a bib and I wouldn't get my outfit dirty. Here's the whole thing too, which we didn't get on film, but the waitresses are dressed as nurses. So it's like this whole theme of like anti-health, and like the names of the burgers is like, if you get a single patty burger, it's a single bypass. A double patty is double bypass. You get it. Phil had a quadruple bypass. I had a single because I was being modest, because I knew I had my appearance later on that evening and I didn't want to feel really stuffed or get sick. The waitress comes to your table and she tells you kind of the rules of eating there. So number one, you have to be wearing the gown, and you have to eat everything on your plate that you ordered aside from the sides. Like your full burger, you have to eat all of it, or you get 3 spankings from your waitress or your nurse. So Phil did a great job and he ate all his food, so he didn't get his spankings, even though he may have wanted them. I definitely ate all my food, and I'm sure there would have been people there that wanted to see the nurse waitress give me a spanking, but they do it in front of the whole restaurant. Like, it's part of the gimmick. The overall experience was like kind of fun, but like I definitely wouldn't eat there again. But at least I can say I've gone there once in my life. If you're in Vegas on Fremont Street and you want like a really gimmicky experience and a good burger, go there. Phil's like a big burger guy and he said they were pretty good. Anyways, Phil had the meat sweats afterwards because he ate a quadruple bypass burger, and I ate all my food too. So we ended up walking for a little bit just to kind of walk it off. And then we went back to the hotel to take a nap so that we were awake for my appearance later on at Gipsy. My ears are literally still ringing from the Diva Mania party. It was so fun. This was actually the first time that I was ever booked during WrestleMania weekend for a nighttime party event. Like, usually if I'm booked for WrestleMania weekend, it's at WrestleCon and I'm at a table signing autographs and taking pictures with fans. So this was a completely whole new experience for me, and it was so much fun. My friend Jake, who I met years and years ago when I was still wrestling for WWE, he had a podcast that he interviewed me for, and we remained friends throughout the years. I actually went to his wedding and I announced him into his wedding reception as if he was a wrestler doing his entrance, and he had this like amazing peacock tail that matched his suit. Like, it was so great. But we've been friends for a really long time, and he was actually hosting that party at Diva Mania. It was sponsored by his company, Q Care Plus. So it was just really cool to be there to support him and to have him invite me out there for that. I don't usually go to clubs or parties like that anymore. So the music was extremely loud, but it was such a cool fan interaction experience because it wasn't like super transactional like it typically is at a signing where someone waits in line and then they get a few minutes to talk and they take a picture and that's it. Like I really actually had the chance to vibe and talk to all the fans that were there. And there were other wrestlers too. This party was for the gays and the girls. Like it was like this total diva experience. And I was booked to be a guest judge. And the other guest judges were there that were judging a fan catwalk event. It was me, Layla, Ariane Andrews, and Melina. And it was so fun to catch up with those three. It had been so long since I had seen Ariane. Like I can't even remember the last time I saw her. And she looked so stunning and she's fabulous as ever and hasn't aged a day. It's been a few years since I had seen Melina, but I have seen her throughout the years at different events like signings or shows. And it was maybe 2 or 3 years since I had seen Layla. Layla actually, when we were both still in the WWE, she left a few years before I did. And we had never really talked or caught up until a few years ago. We were actually booked for a signing and we were sharing the table. And her and I had like a little bit of beef in the past. Like when I first got my contract, I had never wrestled before and I was only with the company for about 4 weeks before I got pulled up on TV to debut on NXT season 3. And so I got like a lot of shit in the locker room from some of the top women there because they didn't feel like I deserved to be there. And so she was one of the divas that gave me a hard time. And we've since like talked it out and worked it out and we're really cool now. But it's just so funny to kind of go over the history that I have with each of these women. But we were just so well received by everybody there at the party. And there was a lot of up and coming wrestlers there that work on the indie scene and just like fans in general. So it was just an amazing experience. I had so much fun. I loved my outfit and Phil got a lot of cool behind the scenes content for me.
You're tired because you ate.
No way.
Wore a hospital gown.
Almost 40.
Yeah.
I know.
I never heard of
All
this
that
artist
is prime
place.
probably.
This house.
So it's a restaurant?
Yeah, it's a
Turns into an ad for
I
Heart
got
Attack Grill.
the single.
What's that?
I said this turns into an ad for Heart Attack Grill.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah. But so the gimmick is like, you go
That
in
shit
there.
hurt.
If you're over 350 pounds, you eat for free,
Oh,
no matter what. And there's like a
350? Yeah.
huge scale
Right. Oh, almost sold. Tommy. 1, 2, 3.
I had the best time during my interview on Busted Open. So it was the host, Dave, who after the interview, he actually showed me a picture of he and I standing together during the last time that he interviewed me. And it was actually when I had the Divas title. It was WrestleMania 29. And that's actually the last year that I was with the company during WrestleMania. And I was champ at the time and was not on WrestleMania. So it was just like a weird time for the Divas. And that WrestleMania is actually when they debuted the Total Divas show. So I unfortunately did not get to be on WrestleMania. I was actually never been on WrestleMania, even though I was with the company for 4 years. Dave, who's the host of Busted Open, and then the guest hosts were Tommy Dreamer, who I love, Mark Henry, also love him, and Bully Ray. And I don't know Bully Ray as well, but we've been at some of the same events in the past doing signings and autographs. And so I've gotten to get to know him over the years. It was just a good time. They asked me some really amazing questions. And I actually ended up talking about the Heart Attack Grill, that burger place we ate at. And I was telling them that Phil had the quadruple bypass. And they called Phil in to the actual interview room and mic'd him up, and he talked about it too. So Phil was on the episode for a few minutes. So we talked about burgers, obviously. We talked about wrestling. We talked about when I had the title and essentially just how far the women's division has come. And we also talked about a potential comeback. In every interview I've done over all of the years since leaving WWE, that's always a question. You know, are you going to make a comeback? Are you ever going to get back in the ring? And my answer is always yes, if it's the right opportunity and I'm in a good place to do it. I have gone back to the WWE ring in the past. In 2018, I came back for the second year of the Mae Young Classic, and I absolutely loved it. And I had one of my most favorite matches with Mia Yim. I'm such a fan of her, like as a person and a wrestler. So yeah, maybe potentially a comeback. We talked about that. We also talked about a lot of the things that I struggled with while I was with the company and ultimately why I left with 2 years left on my contract. So it's a really good interview. And the person that is in charge of talent, he texted me yesterday and said that my interview was by far the most watched. So just kind of reaffirming that the wrestling world is kind of calling me back into the ring. So maybe there will be a comeback in the near future. I just know that I had a really great time connecting with Dave and all the guest hosts, and it was just really fun to be in that professional setting in the spotlight. Like, it just feels like home for me. So all in all, it was such an amazing trip, and I had the best weekend I've had in a long time during WrestleMania weekend. And now it's time to head home to Houston.
Transported from Sirius XM to the airport. Oh my god, oh my god. I'm sorry. So sorry. That's fine.